There are strong athletes, and then there are bodybuilder level athletes. Here are 10 athletes from basketball to pro wrestling who could win a bodybuilding competition in their current shape. While you check out these impressive physical specimens, we'll examine a bit of your own knowledge with a quiz question. We'll let you know the correct answer at the end. Think you're tough? Then punch the subscribe button now for more hard-hitting sports action from the Sportster. Dwight Howard, Atlanta Hawks, NBA. It doesn't always behoove a basketball player to be big, but a few still lug bodybuilder-like frames up and down the court on a nightly basis, throwing bows around with so much force that they could probably knock a pro wrestler out. And although Dwight Howard isn't the most jacked NBA player of all time when compared to guys like Ben Wallace or Karl Malone, he's the biggest one still playing, which is why he made this list. Howard is listed at an astounding 6 feet 11 inches tall at 265 pounds. And although his limbs are long and his frame is wide, he's managed to pack an impressive amount of muscle on over the years. He's almost a walking optical illusion in that sense. Because most people don't realize how tall and wide he actually is, his muscles don't look obviously imposing when he's standing by himself. But throw someone in to guard him and the differential is immediately apparent. In fact, if you stood him up on a stage next to bodybuilders whose muscles visibly pop a bit more, he might still win a competition simply due to his unbelievable overall size. Brian Orakpo, Tennessee Titans, NFL. At first glance, Brian Orakpo of the Tennessee Titans might look like a normal-sized football player, but put him next to almost anyone else, especially a non-athlete, and suddenly he's gigantor. Officially, he's listed as standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 257 pounds, but that doesn't properly illustrate how much muscle is packed onto his frame. Let's put it this way, at his NFL combine, Orakpo benched 225 pounds a shocking 31 times. And that was 8 years ago! Since then, he's appeared to get even larger, earning the nickname Workout Warrior and appearing in publications such as MuscleProdigy.com. However, his body couldn't keep up with all the muscle he was adding, and it started breaking down and sidelining the hulking offensive linebacker, which led him to begin focusing more on flexibility and endurance. If his strength or muscle mass suffered, then it's difficult to notice, as the change in routine led him possessing muscles that pop with definition more than ever before. Now 30 years old, Orakpo will look to top the 10.5 sacks he totaled in 2016, the third time in his 8-year career that he notched at least 10. Tim Tebow, New York Mets, MLB. Although he failed to stick in the NFL numerous times and is currently barely scraping by in the New York Mets minor league system, Tim Tebow might want to consider another athletic competition if this doesn't pan out: bodybuilding. The guy is listed at 6 foot 3 inches tall and 255 pounds, with an enormous upper body, powerful and defined legs, and barely an ounce of visible body fat. Although his batting average seems to perpetually hover around the Mendoza line, he already has a couple of home runs and a few doubles in the 2017 regular season, which he notched thanks to an effortless-looking swing that causes the ball to explode off his bat each time. Additionally, his workout regimen and diet plans have been well documented in publications like Men's Health, Men's Fitness, Men's Journal, and GQ, showing he certainly has the know-how, discipline, and physical ability to be a professional bodybuilder if he ever chose to go down that road. Even if he ends up spending the remainder of his sports career in the broadcast booth, we expect Tebow to continue lifting and living by his mantra. Somewhere he is out there training while I am not, and when we meet, he will win. Shantae McMillan, heptathlete. We wanted to include at least one female athlete, and although we were tempted to go with mom-to-be Serena Williams, Shantae McMillan's body gives off the vibe that she can do absolutely anything, which makes sense as the 28-year-old athlete's sport is the heptathlon, an event that includes hurdles, high jump, shot put, sprinting, long jump, javelin, and long distance run. As you can tell, she's not jacked, but not all female bodybuilders are. Instead, it's the definition that matters, and McMillan has plenty of that to show off her ample muscles. Her arms are strong, her legs are powerful, and you could grate cheese on her abs, which look more like a case than a six-pack. When she puts all of this to use, McMillan is an Olympic-level athlete, and she previously competed in the heptathlon at the 2012 Summer Olympic Games in London. She continues to compete in various track and field competitions in between training and coaching at the University of Dayton, and has also appeared in the 2015 edition of ESPN The Magazine's Body issue. One look at some of the photos and you'll see concrete evidence that Shantae McMillan was carved from stone and exists as a fitness goddess among mere mortals. Robert Turbin, Indianapolis Colts, NFL. If this list ranked the strongest athletes, JJ Watt would probably be at the top for NFL players. However, his defensive end position allows him to occasionally keep a bit of extra body fat that wouldn't fly at a bodybuilding competition. Thus, we will crown Indianapolis Colts running back Robert Turbin king of the gridiron. And although he only weighs 225 pounds compared to Watt's 289, he's a full 7 inches shorter than JJ, which makes his mass somewhat mind-boggling until you actually see the guy. When the 5'10" Turbin sprints past defenders, the ball is safely secured in his giant arms that pack muscle on top of even more muscle. In fact, his biceps appear to swallow up the football as he cradles it, which is probably why he has only fumbled twice in his 6-year NFL career. I'll bet in a limited number of carries. Although his combined stats are now 5 years old, we should probably still mention that Turbin benched 225 pounds for a whopping 28 reps, putting to shame guys that are several inches taller and more than 60 pounds heavier than him. And by comparison, Watt managed just 6 more reps. Let's take a break in between sets and exercise your brain for a moment with a quiz. At the NFL Combine, players are required to bench 225 pounds as many times as possible. What is the all-time record for most reps? Adebayo Akinfenwa, Wycombe Wanderers, EFL. Very few soccer players look like bodybuilders, which is why it's so easy to spot Adebayo Akinfenwa in a crowd, and why it's so easy to see how he earned the nickname The Beast. The London-born footballer currently plays for the Wycombe Wanderers, stands just shy of 6 feet tall, and weighs around 200 pounds, which can fluctuate a bit. What doesn't fluctuate is the amount of muscle Adebayo carries around, and his frame has received global attention and fascination, mostly thanks to the FIFA video games dubbing him the strongest footballer in the world. He has broad and bulging shoulders, upper arms larger than some players' heads, and legs to make it look as if he could kick a ball to the moon. He can also reportedly bench around 400 pounds, or about 2 of his teammates at once. Although he occasionally gets a little round in the middle, that's natural for athletes trying to bulk, and could easily be shed for a hypothetical competition. What it comes down to in the end is that if you had to guess Akinfenwa's sport of choice, bodybuilding would probably be the safe bet, or American football at the very least. Harry Akines-Arati, sprinter. If you were unfamiliar with Harry Akines-Arati and were given 5 guesses as to what his profession was, you probably wouldn't guess professional sprinter. Heck, you probably wouldn't even get it with 10 or 20 guesses either. And that would make sense, as sprinters are not known for packing on muscle like football players or pro wrestlers, but try telling that to Harry. The 28-year-old Englishman stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and packs an unfathomable 190 pounds of almost pure muscle onto his frame while boasting only 3% body fat. He's such an impressive physical specimen that Sportsmail featured him in a nude photo shoot just to document his freak of nature status, which also includes being able to bench more than 430 pounds and having thighs that measure a circumference of 25 inches around. Oh, and in case that last fact wasn't a hint, he's fast. Like former world 100-meter junior champion fast. Like 100 meters in 10.08 seconds fast. And if you needed another reason to believe that Harry Akines-Arati is a real-life Superman, just know that he propels his 190-pound frame down the track while using only 51% of his lung capacity. That's right, he's also asthmatic. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, WWE. If you look up the word muscle in the dictionary, well, then you're a total nerd, and The Rock is going to stomp your candy ass because he is muscle. And everyone who's not a jabroni should already know that. He's literally the personification of the height of human physical accomplishment, and the fact that he was named People Magazine's Sexiest Man of the Year in 2016 was just icing on a big old cake bearing the word duh, and he's not done yet. With every passing year and every new movie role, we're constantly being told that Dwayne Johnson is taking his workout to a new level, which seems like an impossibility. Yet he reappears larger each and every time, over and over again, without fail. Johnson now reportedly weighs in at about 260 pounds of pure muscle on a frame that stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. And when we say pure muscle, we mean it. He's so bulky, it's almost comical. But please don't tell him we said that. We'd like to live for a bit longer with our bones unbroken and functioning. Oh, and we'd be remiss not to comment on Vin Diesel's recent remark that he could flex on The Rock in a real fight. Our response? Yeah, right. John Cena, WWE. WWE wrestlers Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and John Cena are probably interchangeable on this list, as both of them are larger-than-life figures, and we're not just talking about their personalities. As far as numbers go, Cena is about 10 pounds lighter than Johnson, but he's also 4 inches shorter. This adds up to a slightly higher percentage of lean muscle on Cena, who would probably beat The Rock if they went head-to-head in a bodybuilding competition. Interestingly, both guys briefly played football in college, but The Rock soon transitioned into wrestling while Cena went into bodybuilding. This was short-lived, however, as Cena signed with Ultimate Pro Wrestling only a year after graduation. He since became not only one of the most successful wrestlers in the history of the industry, but also a TV and film actor, commercial spokesman, and health and fitness guru. His workouts and diets have been published in many major publications and on countless websites, and he constantly updates Twitter with his feats of strength and progress in the gym. For the record, he can currently bench more than 450 pounds and just celebrated his 40th birthday by deadlifting 602 pounds, definitely proving, as he put it, that age is just a number. Bobby Lashley, Impact Wrestling. Not all professional wrestlers are jacked. Neither are all amateur wrestlers, mixed martial artists, or military personnel. But a pro wrestler that's also a former amateur wrestler, MMA fighter, and United States Army sergeant will probably be pretty big, or at least that's what Bobby Lashley would lead us to believe. The 40-year-old American athlete lists all of these accomplishments on his resume, as well as owning a height of at least 6'1" and a weight around 280 pounds. But even these descriptions don't do Lashley's body justice. The guy is absolutely yoked. He looks like an action figure, or as if someone took an already strong athlete and had his chest, traps, delts, biceps, and triceps inflated with a tire pump until they were ready to burst. Forget facing him in the ring, I wouldn't want to cross this guy's path at the grocery store. Lashley is currently pummeling faces and breaking backs in his second stint with Impact Wrestling, although he found most of his fame as the guy who beat Umaga in the famous hair versus hair match between Donald Trump and Vince McMahon back in 2007, as well as for his dominating 15-2 MMA record from 2008 to 2016. And while most of us couldn't bench 225 pounds once, NFL players have to do it repeatedly at the combine. So to answer our previous question, the record for most reps was set by Justin Ernest in 1999, after he pumped out an astonishing 51 repetitions. And that's all for the 10 strongest athletes who look like bodybuilders. Can you think of any others? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like and share this video.